Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV with me, Maoli Aholimega. On this episode, we delve into the emergence of an artificial intelligence chatbot named ChatGPT. My guest is Kwesi Kofi, and he's the CEO from Dataware. Kwesi, welcome to BizTech. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's been a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. How are things so far?
Well, I mean, you can imagine with the emergence of this new technology, there's a lot happening. Things are changing pretty quickly. So it's taking some amount of effort for companies to catch up to what's happening in the various industries.
Yeah. So now let's get straight into it. I think for me, from November, I started hearing this whole ChatGPT chat, and I had no idea what it was doing, and I did a little research only to find out what it really does. And this is like a whole artificial intelligence chatbot that is doing so many things, helping people to do assignments. What exactly is this whole ChatGPT thing?
Okay, so I mean, artificial intelligence has been around for a while. It has been used in many sectors by different companies. I mean, if you look at the big tech giants, if you look at Facebook, Amazon, all of them are using different forms of artificial intelligence in their operations by leveraging their data sets to generate insights and make decisions. What has really brought this to the fore now is that ChatGPT has sort of democratized artificial intelligence. So by democratizing it, what I mean is that it has given access to a wide range of society to leverage it. So, like I said, artificial intelligence has been around for a while. There are various elements of it. What artificial intelligence essentially is that it's a computer software that is trained to mimic human, cognitive abilities. So with cognitive abilities, sight, how you understand, and then sometimes in terms of action, in relation to, how you interface some of these softwares with other elements of technology like robotics. So essentially, artificial intelligence has been around for a while. It has just now been democratized, and access has been given to both, individuals and to companies, developers, to leverage it to build amazing products.
Yeah, so just from what you widely explained, so would you say that this ChatGPT thing, is it open to everyone? Is it like a free software? And who made this whole ChatGPT, if you have an idea?
So ChatGPT, the parent company that is spearheading this development is called OpenAI.
Okay.
Now, OpenAI was co-founded by 4 people, but the names that I'm sure would immediately jump out for a lot of people will be Elon Musk.
Yeah, which is the Twitter owner.
Yes, so currently Twitter owner. In the past, he has been involved with PayPal. He's into electronic mobility as well as space. So he's no new face when it comes to technology. And there's another gentleman to call Sam Altman.
Okay.
So Sam Altman was formerly the head of a Y Combinator, which is like a tech enabler for startups.
Okay.
And so these two are the ones, in addition to other 2 people who founded, OpenAI. And OpenAI initially started as a non-for-profit organization, but somewhere along the line, they've changed their model. Even though they have a very interesting model, they now cap their profits at some point. And so along the line also, Elon Musk left the company because from some of the tweets that he has been pushing out, it's evident that he's not on board with some of the things that the company is looking at doing. Also along the line, some partnership agreements between OpenAI and Microsoft to embed some of the AI functionalities with Microsoft's suite of products as well, like the Edge browser.
Okay.
And so you realize that Microsoft's Edge browser has not been doing too well on the market if you compare it to
people actually prefer the Firefox and then the
Google
Mozilla
Chrome, especially
Chrome,
because of the search functionalities. So I believe that Microsoft sees this as an opportunity to get back into the driving seat by incorporating this, because what the ChatGPT is like AI in a conversational manner.
Okay.
So just like you do a search, you can chat with the AI model and get responses.
Just briefly explain to us how this whole thing was created. I'm sure maybe you may not have the full data to tell us, but how, like, what was the thought process going into creating this thing? How did they develop this ChatGPT?
Okay, so with artificial intelligence, what it really rides on is data. So you realize that when it comes to AI, the companies that are able to leverage this fully are those that collect massive data sets. So if you look at AWS, Amazon Web Services, where a lot of people shop online. If you look at YouTube, where a lot of people go there to watch videos. If you look at Facebook, Twitter, a lot of people, generate content on there. So all of these data sets are available. So a lot of these companies are already at the forefront. Now, the way artificial intelligence works is that there are various elements of it. The part that has gained the most prominence over the last decade will be machine learning. But the other elements, there's deep learning, neural networks, and all of that. So with machine learning, what happens is that if you want to train an AI model, you need to gather data sets. And when you gather those data sets, you build your model by training those data sets. Machine learning or artificial intelligence rides on three tenets. The first one being training. So you get your data sets to train it so that it's able to respond by learning from that data set. And the second tenet is with reasoning. So that's where you interact with the model, and then it's able to, based on what it has learned from the previous data sets, it's able to give you responses. And the third part is an iterative process where it learns, it relearns. So based on feedback, it's able to tell that, okay, maybe this answer was wrong. I need to relook at my data set and things like that. So that's how AI models are created, essentially.
So what are some of the benefits of this ChatGPT? Because we'll come to some concerns as well, but what are the immediate benefits of this ChatGPT chatbot?
So as you can imagine, there's a lot of uproar about, the functionalities, what this enables people to do. Immediate benefits, I would say, is that, and there's a lot of concern about how artificial intelligence is going to take over the jobs of humans and things like that. But I think we're a little far from that. So I would wish that people would see AI as an enabler, sort of, to augment what the human capacity can do. As a human being, I mean, how much information can you process at a point in time? So let's say if you are, your job is to generate content, how does ChatGPT enable you? Don't see it as a way that it's come to take over, because, I mean, AI is not perfect. There's still a lot of, work ongoing to perfect that technology. So it helps augment people's work, whether you are in the legal field, whether you are in content generation, whether you are a developer, because some elements of ChatGPT enables you to write code or even access code that you have already written to find errors and things like that. So it's more of an enabler for people in various endeavors.
So because I've been having a very interesting conversation with you about ChatGPT. We'll come to the concerns right after this break. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi from Dataware, and we've been talking about the emergence of an AI chatbot named ChatGPT. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from that break on BizTech. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi from Dataware. We've been talking about the emergence of the AI chatbot named ChatGPT. Kwesi,
hi.
I've been learning quite a lot from you about this whole ChatGPT and what it seeks to do. I'm sure we'll do a demonstration about how it works, but there are some concerns that this ChatGPT is coming to claim people's jobs and it's going to make students lazy and all of that, because it's going to give people answers to questions even when they're in the exam hall and all of that. What do you make of this whole thing?
Well, I think some of these concerns are valid, because when you look at one of the major concerns is about bias. So how AI model responds to queries depends on what data set it is trained on.
Okay.
And as most of these data sets are generated by humans, humans inherently are biased. So it's only normal that these biases may be represented in these data sets. So this also affects the quality of response that come from AI models, especially in conversational ones. So for bias, I think that's a valid concern. There's also another valid concern about how this is going to affect the educational sector, especially with the functionalities of this ChatGPT, where it's able to help generate text, can help write essays, write code. It's really a threat to how our young ones, learn and how they exercise their mental capacity. So that's also a general concern. And there has been like a real uproar in the academic sectors where a lot of lecturers are concerned. As countermeasures, there are also tools that are coming up that can help detect content that is generated by AI. But then, as you know, there's always a countermeasure for a countermeasure. It's also really like a bit of a black box that needs some looking into. So essentially, when you look at AI, the values or the elements that make it more acceptable to a lot of people is that people should really understand it. So if an output is generated, there has to be visibility on how it arrives at the output. And that's one of the challenges, especially with some regulators. For regulators in the US, for example, AI is used to build credit risk for people.
Yeah, so that they can get loans
and things like that. And if per US regulation, you're supposed to show how you sort of like arrive at a credit score for a particular person. And if you're using an AI model that is trained on thousands of data sets, and there are very, very nuanced ways that these data sets relates to each other, it's difficult to show that. So those are some of the concerns.
Okay. Yeah, so we've been talking about this whole ChatGPT, and it would be nice for you to take us through the salient steps of how this whole open AI technology works. So you can take it away, Kwesi.
Right. So we are currently on the Open AI website.
Okay.
Now, Open AI, like I said, has been since 2015 been in operation, and ChatGPT is the part of its product offering that has gained the most traction. But there are other products that are available. So, I mean, from the website, you can see that there's ChatGPT that has various,
models,
features.
Okay.
It can be used for copywriting, summarization, parsing text. I'm going to run demos of how that is. But anybody can go onto the OpenAI website and sign up. Availability is subject to, cloud computing resources that OpenAI has.
Okay.
They have also launched paid versions of the product. So once you subscribe, you'll be assured. But if you're using the free version, then you are only able to use it as it's available. Then there's what they call the DAL-E, which is also has to do with more about images.
So it says create realistic images and art from a description in natural language. Okay.
Yes, so using natural language, you can describe what kind of image that you want to depict, and the AI model is able to generate that. And then there's also another one, what they call Whisper. So Whisper has to do with voice, audio, right?
Yeah.
So let's try to do something around ChatGPT. Right.
Okay. All right.
So, like we said, it's conversational. You can use it to generate content. You can ask it questions about, mathematical questions, programming questions, and should be able to get a response on it. Already on
and
the
it's
chat.
accurate?
Well, at some level, there are some instances where it gives wrong information.
Okay.
And that's why we say AI is not perfect, because it's still learning. As time goes along, it will get better.
Okay.
So the engineers definitely will look at responses where they are not accurate, and they retrain the model so that they can provide accurate measures. So accurate responses. So you see that the version that we are currently interacting with is February 13.
Okay.
So anytime there's an update, it's launched, and then we tag. So I think we are.
So this simply means it's still in development. So
yes.
as and when it comes up, it goes along.
It's going to be in development forever. It's also going to be.
Wow.
It's going to be in development forever.
So then the responses are going to be very, very unique.
Yes.
As they go along.
Exactly that. So give me something. Let's say you are given an assignment.
Okay. How many stars are in the sky? Yeah. it'll be interesting to know how many of them are in the sky though.
Right.
Okay.
So let's see.
So now that you click that, I see. Okay, so it's giving you the response. So it says it's difficult to provide an exact number because the number of stars in the sky varies depending on different factors such as the time of the day, location, and atmospheric conditions. However, on a clear night with good viewing conditions, an average human can see 2,500 to 5,000 stars with the naked eye. However, there are estimated to be over 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and there are billions of galaxies in the observable universe, which means that the number of stars in the sky is virtually infinite. So, okay, so this is a very well explained response.
Yeah, so you can see the difference between this and what you would get from, let's say, a Google search. So if you're to do a Google search, you get a list of articles. You get a list of articles.
You probably see some NASA things doing images and all over.
And then you have to go and dig in and read. And so this AI model just summarizes all of that information, picks out the salient points, right?
Okay.
So one, copywriting is able to generate content based on, some information that you give it. Summarization, if you have a body of text, it can pick up the salient points, right? And then present it to you. So let's take the same body of text.
Okay. So we'll copy the text. Okay.
Yeah.
And generate another one.
Let's say summarize.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we are waiting for the response. Also, I see you can actually stop it from generating.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's giving us.
Okay. So it has summarized the whole body of text, picked out the salient points.
Okay. That makes more sense for you to get the response that you want.
Yes. Okay. So imagine if, let's say, you are, let's say, a lawyer, and you have a 20-page document of text, right?
Which is quite a lot.
Yes. And you just want to pick out the salient points from it. And there's an application that writes on ChatGPT to do a functionality like that. You can imagine how much time that's going to save you. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we can look at. There's also the ability to do classification.
Okay.
So let's say, give me a list of cars.
Okay, Tesla, Mercedes, Mercedes, BMW. How many do you want? Tesla, Mercedes, BMW, Toyota.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's ask ChatGPT to categorize.
Okay. So it's gonna categorize these cars. Okay. So we are waiting for it to give us the response.
Okay. So let's do this instead. So categorize Tesla and then BMW. Let's give it some options. Let's say electric and then
manual or something.
Fuel,
yeah. Okay. And it looks like it's so fast because it's like the moment you put in the request, the response comes like really, really fast.
So what has happened is that they've taken large amounts of data sets and they've trained the model.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about artificial intelligence is that it has been powered by cloud computing. So you need massive amounts of cloud computing
data and all
computing resources to train these models. So you can leverage on cloud computing where providers like AWS and Microsoft have various data centers and harness it to train these models. So it's very easy. Now, once you have the model is in a particular state. So all that the model does is accept queries. right?
Okay.
So it's very, very fast.
Right.
So you can see that from our previous example, we've given it elements to categorize these cars by, and it has been able to tell us that, okay, Tesla is an electric vehicle,
car, and
then
BMW has
is
both electric and full power.
Depending on the model.
It's looking like this app is going to come in handy for some people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's take one last example.
Okay.
So translate. I am going to work.
Okay.
To French.
Interesting. So you can even do languages as well.
Languages as well.
Okay. I'm going to work can be translated in French as Je vais au travail. Right? Yeah. Whatever that means is I'm going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So not just English, but it has options for other languages.
To translate, yeah.
So for persons who will need a translator when they enter into another country, they can use this app to. It can also serve as a translator as well.
So the interesting thing about this is that they've opened. So that's why I said that they've sort of democratized it, because these functionalities are available through an API. So any developer anywhere that says, okay, I want to build a product that can translate English to French, will build a different interface
and then
plug into the open API. Then when somebody says, okay, type that text in the app, they query the open AI through the API and then get a response and show. Wow. So there are a lot of products that can be built on top of this.
On top of this, wow.
Aside from people just coming to the platform to interact with it on their interface.
Yeah. This is really interesting. I've been learning quite a lot from you, and I think that's all for today. And it's been very, very interesting learning about this ChatGPT. Kwesi, thank you so much for being on the show. I've been speaking with Kwesi Kofi from Dataware. We've been learning about the emergence of an artificial intelligence chatbot named ChatGPT. He's been my guest on this week's edition of BizTech. Before we go, don't forget to log on to our website, www.ghanaweb.com, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the GhanaWeb, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, GhanaWeb TV. My name is Marley Aholimega. Please do stay for Biz Headlines.